Happy November and welcome back to this week's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and as a bit of a spoiler, this show is always filmed on Thursdays every week. That's why every now and then my predictions are wrong, and that's why I'm wearing my 80s Halloween costume, fit with Star Wars shirt and all. Anyway, it's been a fun few weeks, so we have a lot to catch up on. First off, baseball. The 2024 World Series between the New York Yankees and our local Los Angeles Dodgers began with Game 1 last Friday, and oh man, did it deliver. With the game tied at 2-2 at the end of the 9th inning, into extra innings we went. In the top of the 10th, Yankees' Anthony Volpe hit a grounder to shortstop, which allowed Jazz Chisholm Jr. to score, putting New York ahead 3-2. In the bottom of the 10th, with the Dodgers up to bat, after a few walks and a single, Freddie Freeman stepped up to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. What happened next will definitely go down as one of the greatest plays in baseball history. The very first pitch from Nelson Cortez to Freeman was a 92-mile-an-hour inside fastball, and Freeman came out swinging. Freddie Freeman hit the first game-ending grand slam in World Series history with 2 outs in the 10th inning to give the Dodgers a 6-3 victory over the Yankees in a drama-filled Game 1. In Game 2, the Yankees had their shot at a dramatic finish. Down 4-1 in the top of the 9th inning, the Yankees had some work to do to pull off the comeback. Juan Soto hit a single, followed by Giancarlo Stanton roping a ball to left and allowing Soto to score and bringing the score to 4-2. Jazz Chisholm singled, Anthony Rizzo was hit by a pitch, and all of a sudden, bases were loaded with just 1 out. Anthony Volpe struck out, and catcher Jose Trevino popped out to center field, and the Dodgers just barely held on to win Game 2, 4-2. Strangely enough, Game 3 went almost identically to Game 2. Freddie Freeman homered for the 3rd straight game, and Walker Buehler pitched another World Series gem as Los Angeles beat the slumping New York Yankees 4-2 on Monday night for a 3-0 lead, just 1 game away from a World Series victory. Despite that, the Yankees still had a chance to win when Alex Verdugo hit a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 9th to bring New York within 2 runs. It was too little too late, though, as the Dodgers held on to win. With their backs against the wall down 3-0, the Yankees had to either pick up a win at home or be sent packing. In Game 4 on Tuesday, things started out pretty rocky for the Yankees. Freddie Freeman roped a hard-hit ball to right field for a 2-run home run again, extending his streak of World Series games with a home run to a record 6 and giving the Dodgers a 2-0 lead in the top of the 1st inning. It was an all-too-familiar feeling for the Yankees, but this game ended differently. Aaron Judge finally broke his cold streak when he drove in a run in the 8th inning. Plus, Gleyber Torres, Anthony Volpe, and Austin Wells all hit home runs as New York stayed alive, handedly beating the Dodgers 11-4 and bringing the series to 3-1. The substantial Game 5 was on Wednesday night, right back in New York. Things started out strong again for the Yankees, with Aaron Judge finally breaking out of his slump officially and drilled a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 1st inning to give New York a 2-0 lead. In the very next at-bat, Jazz Chisholm Jr. followed it up with another home run, making the lead 3-0 in the bottom of the 1st. A Verdugo RBI in the 2nd and then a Giancarlo Stanton solo home run in the 3rd quickly made it a 5-0 ball game, and the Yankees looked like they were going to cruise into Game 6. However, there was a lot of game left. Hit after hit by the Dodgers in the 5th inning made this a tie ball game. Fast forward to the bottom of the 6th, another RBI by Stanton would have Soto score, and the Yankees could breathe a sigh of relief as they regained a 6-5 lead. That relief didn't last too long, though, as Gavin Lux and Mookie Betts each hit a sacrifice fly in the 8th inning, turning the lead in their favor yet again. The Dodgers were hanging on to a 7-6 lead, and into the bottom of the 9th inning we went. It was shaping up to be yet another nail-biter finish in this World Series, but the Dodgers could not be denied. A ground out and 2 strikeouts by the Yankees later, and the Dodgers were World Series champions. Of the 234 teams to trail by 5 or more runs in a series game, the Dodgers became just the 7th to win. The Dodgers earned their 8th championship and 7th since leaving Brooklyn for Los Angeles, their first in a non-shortened season since 1988. They won a neutral site World Series against Tampa Bay in 2020 after a 60-game regular season. Naturally, Freddie Freeman was named World Series MVP. Moving away from all the dramatics in baseball, the NFL has had its fair share of drama lately as well. 2 weeks ago, I talked about the major trades around the league when Devontae Adams was traded to the Jets and Amari Cooper was sent to Buffalo. Since then, 2 more major wide receiver trades have happened. Last week, the Titans agreed to terms on a trade that sent receiver DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs in exchange for a conditional 5th-round pick in the 2025 draft that could become a 4th-round pick. A three-time Pro Bowler, Hopkins has 12,528 career yards and 79 touchdowns. In his first game in Kansas City, Hopkins recorded just 2 catches for 29 yards, but look for his production to increase as time goes by. Other than Hopkins, the Ravens traded for Carolina Panthers wide receiver Deontay Johnson in a swap of draft picks on Tuesday. It's the second time Johnson has been traded this year. The Panthers acquired Johnson from the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Ravens' AFC North rival, before the season. Johnson will now become just the third wide receiver since 2000 to catch a pass as a Raven and as a Steeler. The more I think about it, the more I realize the past week or so was all around dramatic all across the sports world. On Sunday morning, we were treated to one of the greatest endings to a football game in a long, long time. With just 25 seconds remaining in the game, Chicago Bears running back Roschon Johnson ran in a 1-yard score to put the Bears up 15-12 over the Washington Commanders. By all means, this game was over, and the Bears were about to walk out of Landover, Maryland with a win. But, to quote Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels scrambled around for nearly 13 seconds and heaved the ball from the Washington 35-yard line with 000 showing on the clock. The pass tipped off the hands of Zach Ertz outside of the end zone and miraculously into the waiting arms of Noah Brown, who was standing alone in the end zone for a 52-yard Hail Mary touchdown that gave the Commanders an impossible 18-15 victory that sent players, coaches, and fans into a complete frenzy. This play has already been dubbed the Madhouse in Maryland. According to ESPN, the Bears had a 97.9% chance to win that game following their late touchdown. After the climactic ending to Week 8, we're officially approaching the midpoint of the season. The Chiefs are still undefeated, sitting on top of the league with a perfect 7-0 record. Other than Kansas City, here's a look at the current playoff picture. After their Hail Mary, the Commanders are currently the number 2 team in the NFC with a 6-2 record. After the Vikings' 6-0 start, they've lost 2 straight to the Lions and Rams, and have dropped down to the 6th seed, but still have solid odds in making it to the postseason. In the AFC, the Chiefs are the top dog, but the Bills, Texans, Steelers, Broncos, and Ravens are all right on their tails. There are still a few teams on the bubble that I think will be able to make a late season push to get into the playoffs, like the Buccaneers, Rams, Bengals, and Colts. There are only 9 more weeks of regular season football left, so don't miss out on any of the action. 2 weeks ago, I went 3-1 in my picks. Should have been 4-0, but who could have predicted the Seahawks upsetting the Falcons by 20 points? Anyway, 3-1 isn't too bad, and I'm sitting at 17-7 for the season. This week, I'll take the Bengals over the Raiders, the Eagles over the struggling Jaguars, the Vikings to get back in form and beat the Colts, and the Commanders to beat their division rival Giants for the second time this year. Over the past few weeks, I've been reporting on the WNBA Finals. There's finally a pro basketball champion in New York again after the Liberty's 67-62 overtime win over Minnesota in Game 5 of the WNBA Finals on Sunday night. Jonquel Jones led the Liberty as she finished with 17 points and 6 rebounds. The Liberty made the WNBA Finals 5 times before, losing each time, including last season. But after a back-and-forth overtime win, New York finally can hoist their first ever WNBA trophy. One night this week might as well have been a national holiday. Monday, October 28th marked a sports equinox, which means 4 of America's major sports leagues all had games happening at once. There was the continuation of the early games of the NBA and NHL regular seasons. There was Monday Night Football. There was Game 3 of the World Series. There were even MLS playoff games. This was just the 31st sports equinox in history. As a funny but kind of mean fun fact, in a moment that can only happen during a sports equinox, all 4 of New York's teams that played, the Yankees, Knicks, Giants, and NYCFC, all lost their games. Sorry, New York fans, at least the Yankees pulled off the win the next night. While there's no equinox this weekend, there's still NFL, college football, NHL, and NBA regular seasons, and so much more to enjoy across all of the sports world this weekend. So be sure to check out as much as you can and come right back next Friday for more news, updates, and highlights. I'm Cole Young. Enjoy the fall weather on the first week in November. Happy belated Halloween. I'll see you next time.